In the year 250 AD, Roman Britain stands as a jewel in the empire's crown. From the bustling ports of Londinium to the grand villas of the southeast, this province thrives on trade in grain, wool, and tin. Legionaries patrol the windswept Hadrian's Wall, keeping the northern tribes at bay, while merchants ferry goods across the Channel to the heart of Rome. But beneath this veneer of stability, tremors shake the foundations of the world. The Roman Empire, that vast colossus stretching from the Scottish highlands to the sands of Syria, begins to fracture. Emperors rise and fall like autumn leaves, assassinated by their own guards or slain on distant battlefields. Civil wars erupt, barbarian hordes crash against the frontiers, and the economy spirals into chaos. This is the crisis of the 3rd century, a storm that will batter Britain like never before, forcing its people to fight for survival on the edge of empire. The crisis ignites in 235 AD with the murder of Emperor Severus Alexander, but by 250 its fires rage unchecked. In the east, Goths pour across the Danube, sacking cities and slaying Emperor Decius at the Battle of Abritus in 251, the first emperor to die in battle against barbarians. Persians under Shapurda capture Emperor Valerian in 260, a humiliation that sends shockwaves through the legions. In the west, Franks and Alemanni breach the Rhine, while internal strife births a parade of short-lived rulers, 26 claimants in 50 years, most meeting violent ends. The empire splinters. In 260, the Palmyrene Empire rises in the east under Queen Zenobia, seizing Egypt and Syria. Meanwhile, Postumus, a shrewd general in Gaul, declares the Gallic Empire, carving out an independent realm that includes Gaul, Hispania, and crucially, Britain. For 14 years, from 260 to 274, Britain answers to Gallic emperors like Postumus, Victorinus, and Tetricus, not distant Rome. Taxes flow to Traia, not the Tiber, and local legions enforce this breakaway regime. From Britain's shores, these upheavals feel distant at first, like thunder on the horizon. Yet the impacts crash home relentlessly. Economically, hyperinflation devours prosperity. Roman coins, once gleaming denarii of silver, become worthless pot metal debased with base alloys. Prices soar 1,000-fold. A loaf of bread that cost a day's wage now demands a month's. Trade routes falter as pirates prowl the seas and roads grow unsafe. Britain's grand cities, Londinium, Verulamium, Eboracum, shrink behind hastily built walls. The mighty waterfront quays of London, once alive with Gallic wine and Spanish olive oil, lie abandoned by mid-century, dismantled in a desperate bid to salvage timber. Villas turn inward, their owners shifting from exporting luxury cash crops to subsistence farming. Barter replaces coinage. Self-sufficient estates emerge, foreshadowing the manners of a future age. This is no mere recession, it's a collapse that hollows out urban life, leaving ghost towns where forums once echoed with debate. Militarily, the strain mounts as the empire's armies fracture. Legions, once loyal to Rome, swear fealty to whichever general promises pay and plunder. Britain, with its 3 crack legions, the 2nd Augusta, 20th Valeria Victrix, and 6th Victrix, becomes a prize in this chaos. But external foes press closer. From the stormy North Sea, Saxon and Frankish pirates launch lightning raids, torching coastal villages and carrying off slaves. These Germanic seafarers, hardened by the empire's own earlier expansions, strike at will, their longships outpacing Roman galleys. From the north, Picts beyond Hadrian's Wall and Scots from Ireland swarm southward, exploiting the garrisons, thinned by continental demands. In response, Rome fortifies. Starting in the 230s under Severus Alexander, new bastions rise along the Saxon shore, the rugged coastline from Norfolk to Dorset. Brancaster in the east, Reculver in Kent, and Caister-on-Sea guard the Wash and Thames estuaries. By the 270s and 280s, more follow. Anderetum at Pevensey, Portus Adurni at Porchester, each a massive stone redoubt with thick walls and projecting bastions, housing naval squadrons and auxilia. These are not mere watchposts. They are the Empire's iron fist against the sea wolves, channeling troops and supplies while projecting Roman might. Yet even as masons lay the final stones around 290, whispers of betrayal stir within. Politically, Britain's loyalty wavers. Reunited with the Empire in 274 by the iron-willed Aurelian, who crushes the Palmyrene and executes the last Gallic emperor, the province chafes under erratic rule. Probus in the late 270s sends Vandals and Burgundians across the Channel to quash a rebellious governor, a grim reminder of imperial caprice. Then, in 280, Bonosus, a half-British fleet commander, seizes Cologne and declares himself emperor after losing ships to German raiders. Probus swiftly crushes him. These flashes of defiance hint at deeper discontent, overtaxed provincials, unpaid soldiers, and a sense that Rome has forgotten its reigny outpost. The spark that ignites full rebellion comes in 286. Enter Carausius, a Menippean of lowly birth from Belgic Gaul, risen to command the Classis Britannica, Rome's Channel fleet. Tasked with scourging Saxon and Frankish pirates, he amasses a fortune. Too much, rumors say, from pocketing plunder. Emperor Maximian, co-ruler with Diocletian, orders his execution. Carausius strikes first. With his warships, 3 British legions, seized auxiliaries, and barbarian mercenaries, he seizes Britain and northern Gaul, proclaiming himself Augustus. From mints in Londinium and Rouen, coins flood out bearing his stern profile. Restitutor Britannorum, restorer of the Britons. He styles himself a new Augustus, invoking Neptune for naval prowess and even claiming descent from Roman heroes. For 7 years the Britannic Empire endures, a defiant island realm. Carausius repairs roads, rebuilds forts, and woos the locals with propaganda celebrating British genius. In 288, Maximian launches a counter-invasion, but storms scatter the fleet. Carausius spins it as divine victory, securing a fragile peace. Prosperity flickers under his rule. Trade revives. Soldiers are paid in solid coin. But paranoia festers. In 293, Diocletian's tetrarchy tightens the empire's grip. Caesar Constantius Chlorus, tasked with the west, besieges Boulogne with a massive mole across its harbour, starving out Carausian garrisons. He crushes Frankish allies in the Rhine delta, isolating the usurper. That autumn, Carausius falls to treachery. His finance minister Electus assassinates him and seizes the throne. Electus rules uneasily, his coins growing cruder, his hold slipping as famine bites. The end comes swiftly in 296. Constantius dispatches 2 fleets, one under himself from Boulogne, another led by Praetorian prefect Asclepiodotus from the Seine. Fog cloaks Asclepiodotus's approach past the Isle of Wight. He lands near Silchester, torches his ships for no retreat, and smashes Electus's forces. Electus flees to Caleva Atrabadum, where battle rages. He dies sword in hand, stripped of insignia to die anonymously among his men. Loyalists massacre Frankish remnants in Londinium streets. Constantius arrives to cheers, hailed as liberator. Britain rejoins the empire, reorganized into 4 provinces under the Diocese of the Britons, centered in Trier. As the 3rd century closes, the crisis ebbs. Diocletian's reforms stabilize the empire, but Britain emerges scarred yet resilient. The forts of the Saxon shore stand vigilant, economies localize, and a spirit of independence lingers, the first Brexit of the ancient world. These 50 turbulent years forge a province tougher, more insular, setting the stage for the shadows of the 4th century and beyond. In the end, amid empire's roar, Britain's story whispers of defiance, a small island that for a moment ruled itself,